This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. By the way, I was supposed to interview Billy Jack Haynes today at 1, but that's going to be delayed until Monday. Had a long conversation with him last night. But let me jump into the news. I just watched the Roman Reigns on Jimmy Fallon, and he also indicated on this show that despite rumors for years about The Rock potentially facing him at WrestleMania, it's looking like that's probably off the table now. But mind you, if it was going to happen and he was going to make a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble, they would be saying something like that too. So I would say until the Royal Rumble is over, um, I wouldn't completely put it off the table. There is talk now about Austin at Royal Rumble, but it's funny. All the talk is about Roman Reigns against someone for the title at WrestleMania. Nobody believes for a second that Kevin Owens is going to take the title from Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns even said it in this interview that he's beaten Owens every time that they fought, and they fought a lot of times in the past. So it's a pretty it's just funny that it's a very weak title match, but in reality, they don't have many people. They don't have anyone that's believable to beat Roman Reigns unless they take someone from the outside because there's just no one really over in the company right now. And this is funny, by the way. I did watch a bit of this Sami Zayn on Ariel Helwani interview, and you notice that Ariel Helwani's arms are even bigger than Sami Zayn's. And there's all this talk that the Smart Marks want Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble and beat Roman Reigns for the title. Supposedly, he's on the chairs for the Montreal Elimination Chamber. So, in all likelihood, Sami Zayn will be in the main event of Elimination Chamber. And I'm not saying he's not talented, but he doesn't look at all like a wrestler. I'm sorry. He looks like a normal or smaller than average man. So it's just sad that that's what wrestling has come to today. That a guy that doesn't look at all like an athlete. To me, like the nerdy MMA interviewer looks in better shape than Sami Zayn. So for me, as like an old school fan, I just can't even take that serious. I'm not saying he's not talented, but he even said in this interview he could see himself beating Roman Reigns for the title, but he couldn't see himself as a long-term champion because he doesn't have the look that WWE likes as a face of the company type guy. But I just miss the days uh, when people looked more like guys you wouldn't want to mess with on the street. There's a lot more news. Apparently, the Japanese government has finally got rid of the no cheering restrictions, so people can cheer now at wrestling events. WWE and Matthew Drew from Nottingham, England, who was their head of international affairs. I guess he's either been fired or left the company. Never heard of him before. Don't really care, just reporting it. He'd been with the company since June 2021. Apparently, Tony Khan said anyone that was too sad over the loss of Jay Briscoe didn't have to wrestle on the Fresno, California Dynamite if they didn't want to. Which, as I said before, Tony Khan seems like a great guy to work for. I may not agree with all of his booking decisions, but he seems like a great guy. Jake Paul is going to box Tommy Fury, who is related to Tyson Fury, as an ESPN Plus pay-per-view from Saudi Arabia in February. I tried to find out how much they're going to get paid for this, but it's not listed. Jasmine Allure, who I knew from Texas, apparently took a potato from Lacey Evans at the WWE tapings last night. She's part of Glow. I think she was just working as an extra on this one, but she's one of the trainees of Jazz and Rodney Mack. Hello, Scott. I'm going to wake Piper up for her to say hello since she hasn't appeared a lot lately. I posted a picture of her in the YouTube stories. She's styling and profiling as always. Mwah. She's doing well these days. She's tough. She's like Billy Graham. She's a survivor. She's seriously very, very tough. She had numerous health issues since she was a baby, and she's turning 11 next month on February the 12th. Tom, am I going to watch the Royal Rumble pay-per-view tonight? No, I'm not. And I would need a lot more than one beer to enjoy the Royal Rumble, but I'm not drinking right now. I'm getting into good shape these days. Yesterday and the day before, I worked out for 3 hours, and I'm going to plan on doing another 3-hour workout today because I'm not going to wrestle on that Great North Wrestling event May 6th, but I am going to be there, and you never know who might attack me. So I got to be in shape for that. Someone says Sammy should not be the face of the company, but he has his place. Yeah, as I said, I don't doubt that he's talented, but the thing about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is they don't look like they work out. But whatever. Steve doesn't do Facebook. I've been on Facebook a lot less lately, but we do have my news updates actually do better on Facebook as well as the live streams because there's no ads. Do I think Dwayne Johnson shows up at the Royal Rumble match? It depends how much money they offered him, and they probably offered him a lot, but I don't know. They also offered Austin a lot. I would like to see one of those two back because it would give wrestling more buzz, and that will give my channel more views. And as a fan, I'm more of a fan of Austin and The Rock than anyone on the current roster. I don't think there's anything bad about Roman Reigns. He looks great. He looks like a star. He's talented. He's just unfortunately never reached the levels of the John Cenas or the Brock Lesnars or the Rocks or the Austin, but he's definitely a great guy. But I would honestly love to see Austin come back and actually beat him and hold the title for a few months. It would make wrestling more interesting to me. No Gimmicks guy, who did a great interview the other day with Mike Modest, which I think was actually No Gimmicks guy Jack Kilby's best interview, which I suggest people watch that interview. He's going to be interviewing former WCW talent Sheriff Bradley Nimmons, who was known, I guess, as Nova in WCW before Mike Busey took that gimmick. He's going to be on the Old School Shooters podcast at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then Reno Riggins is going to be on the Great North Wrestling podcast tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. And by the way, Jack Kilby is the one putting on the doubleheader on May the 6th in Ottawa. There's going to be 2 events in one day. The Rock can't take bumps anymore. I'm sure he could take a bump or two if he wanted to. But when you're as over as the Rock, the more over you are, the less bumps you have to take. How many bumps, honestly, were in the Rock against Hulk Hogan match at WrestleMania 18, I believe it was, in Toronto, which was one of the greatest matches of all time? When you're over enough, you don't have to do a lot of bumps. When you're not over, you do have to do a lot of bumps and crazy stuff to get over. But when you're so over, you just need to look at the crowd to have them explode. you don't need to do much. Someone says Cody Rhodes. If they can't get The Rock or Austin, Cody Rhodes would likely win the Royal Rumble and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which would make logical sense, but would be the most disappointing of the three potential main events. And on that note, I wish everyone a great day. And I'll check back in with you guys later. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.